Hey everybody, I'm Felix Pence and I hope you're doing good. And today we're playing Far Cry 4 and we're also talking about veganism. So veganism is basically a philosophy in which you believe that animals don't deserve to needlessly die and be exploited and to suffer basically. And so today we're going to be talking about that. Whether you agree or disagree with veganism, doesn't matter. Let's just talk about it. Who deserves to live? Not them. And if we're going to be talking about veganism, we're going to be talking about morality. And morality, it's basically a concept, it's a social construct. It doesn't exist in nature, Right now, I can't find morality nowhere. It's something we've invented as humans to try and have better lives. So morality came when, we realized that, we feel pain, we want to avoid pain and try to get pleasure as much as possible. And also, we like to live, at least most of us do, and we fear death because we don't want to die. So, I can't understand what you're feeling, I can't go into your head and feel what you're feeling or think what you're thinking, but based on what others are saying they feel and based on experiments like, I don't know, like cutting your nipple and you don't like that and you don't want me to repeat it, I can assume you feel pain like, fuck me. Fucking animals, am I right? So if I come to understand that you feel the same pain that I do and you fear death like I do, then we can make a social contract with each other. I won't kill you if you don't kill me. This way we ensure that we're gonna live longer and a more peaceful life at that. So it's kind of a win-win situation. And so to bring it back to animals, which we are animals, humans are animals, so why don't we assume that animals also feel pain and fear death and want to live? Why aren't we extending this social contract with other types of animals? Well, first of all, it can't really be a social contract with animals because, they can't give you back what you're giving them. So in this case, we're not going to be talking about a contract. We're going to be talking about just straight up morality. Okay, you understand that animals feel pain, and you understand what pain and fear is, so you're not going to be inflicting this onto others. Even though a lion, for example, would fucking destroy your ass without thinking twice about it. So you're being the grown-up between you and the animal. You're the one who understands. They don't understand. We can't really blame them. It's like a kid, You know the story where there's this, I think, 2 or 3 years old that takes a gun out of its mom's purse and shoots its mom. Are we gonna blame the 2-year-old? How much morality can this kid understand? It just, fuck me, shot his mom. And we're not going to be torturing that kid because it doesn't understand that it shouldn't shoot its mom, that its mom has a right to live. We're not going to do that because we know the baby doesn't understand, and we're going to extend the care that we give each other to this kid because we know that this kid feels pain and emotions. So if animals feel pain like we do and they don't want their knees to be broken, and if they care about their lives, which is another argument that people bring up often, it's sentience, to have a subjective experience. That's also a criteria that we base the respect we give each other without taking each other's lives, because we know that, we build up memories, we make friends, we understand that we exist, and that's why we don't want to end each other's lives. I will say, oh fuck. So when people say that, oh my god, this is a fucking... I can't talk about veganism while fighting a fucking army. Bro moment right there. Hell yeah, brother. Where is it coming? Whoops. So studies have shown that animals feel emotions. They make friends, they have memories, they can recognize even human faces, that's how good their memories are. That's crazy. And also, they cry if they lose a family member or a friend. And if you show them a mirror, for example, fishes, if you put something on them and you show them their reflection, they'll be like, what? Why is there something on my face? And they'll try to scrape it off on the floor or whatever. So that shows that they know that they exist and they understand their physicality, and they have a subjective experience. So animals, just like humans, have a subjective experience. They know they exist, they make friends, they enjoy their lives, they have a good time, and they feel pain and they fear death. So all of these things that you can relate to can be said about animals. Now this is the basic vegan argument right there. It's the basis of everything I'm gonna be talking about today. I'm not saying this to, I'm not saying this to try and tell you that birds and fishes are like super intelligent and hyper developed. They are better than what you probably think. They definitely are smart, but they're not crazy creatures, and so are we. We're not that special. We often think more of ourselves than we really are. Because humans, we don't deserve anything. We don't have an inherent right to anything. We could all die and it doesn't really matter to the world. But nonetheless, you don't want to die and you don't want to suffer. And I mean, that's understandable. That's the way your brain works, so that you'll survive better. And if you understand that and you relate that to other people and other animals, then why would you make them experience what you don't want to personally experience? That would be very hypocritical and egotistical of you. Dare I say, fucking immoral. Okay, I think my point has been made. We shouldn't make others suffer or die. I've said it enough, alright? We all understand. Maybe you disagree. Tell me why in the comments, maybe. You're wrong, but let's hear it, alright? You're allowed to have a different opinion than me, and I'm glad to hear it. Maybe you'll convince me, heck. And talking about arguments, there are plenty of smaller arguments that are used by people that try and justify killing and exploiting animals. And I'm going to try and cover most of these arguments right now as I keep killing animals and people. So yeah, stick around, it should be fun. Killing animals is just too fun, I mean, that's true. Killing animals is sure fun. Hunting can be thrilling and rewarding because it's hard and you have to think about it and hide and headshot these fucking bears in the head. Fuck me. See, it's hard, and when you finally get it, it's rewarding, so I understand that. But hunting people can also be fun, because it's even harder, because people, they fight back and they can hide. They're smart, they're little weasels, they're little, holy sh. Oh my god, they've got helmets on. You can't really headshot them and then just be, oh, I just did. Now, it probably would be super fun, but is it ethical? I don't think so. You don't want to be hunted, so why would it be okay to hunt other people? Fun is not an argument here. I mean, if you really thought that, I'm sorry, I don't know how I'm gonna reach you. You're pretty far gone, my dude. Maybe your argument is that hunting is better and more sustainable than factory farming, because you're 360 no scope headshotting those deers. Oh, bruh. Ew. Like this, no one suffered in there. Everybody just instantly died. And I mean, yeah, kinda. It's definitely better than factory farming, because factory farming fucking sucks. But why does it have to be either of these options? They're both bad. Hunting is better, but still wrong. Why would you do it? You don't need meat. Like, I'm not going in the past like 1,000 years ago and going into a tribe that doesn't even know that the rest of the world exists and that only survives because of the meat that they hunt. I'm not talking to them. I'm not screaming at them, eating meat is wrong, because they need it to survive. Okay, that's morally correct. If you're trying to survive, I can't judge you there, because I would probably do the same. Instincts kick in, not much you can do about it. You want to survive. I mean, someone's gonna die anyway. So that's not the point I'm making. I'm talking to you, Joe Rogan.
Monkeys.
You don't need to hunt anything. You can get all the nutrients you need at the grocery store. So yeah, let's talk about nutrition. I'm not really qualified to talk about nutrition. I followed a class in college and I'm pretty up to date with the current data and research. But still, I'm going to be linking everything I'm talking about in the description if you're unsure, if you think I'm saying something wrong. So, feel free to do your own research. There's a pretty good consensus about plant-based diets. They're good for all stages of life. I think both the US and Canada's government have said so, that a plant-based diet is plenty good for babies and elderly people. Maybe you've heard something like plant-based diets don't get enough B12 or omega-3s or vitamin D or iron or calcium, which is all false. You can get all of these things from plant-based sources, or if you prefer, it's much easier, you can get them from supplements, which is way more convenient because sometimes these plants are a bit more exotic and you can't really find them in your backyard. And if you think that supplementation is not legit, well, you're pretty dumb because you're already eating a whole bunch of supplemented food like milk. In Canada, milk, I think also the US, but I'm not sure. Milk is most of the time supplemented with vitamin D because most people are deficient in vitamin D anyway, not only vegans. And same thing goes for iodine. Your salt is supplemented in iodine because everybody was deficient back then, so now nobody's deficient anymore because we all eat salt like fucking insane people. And for omega-3s, fishes, which are the sources you're probably getting it from, get it from algae, which is a plant if you didn't know. So you can just get it from the algae and not eat a fish. Plant-based diets are expensive. Not everyone can afford them, you spoiled brat. Not true. Plant-based diets have been shown to either be cheaper or slightly more expensive, like $1 or $2 more per week, which is really not that bad, and sometimes it's like $6 less a week. So pretty much the same thing. Of course, it requires a certain amount of knowledge when it comes to diet. It always does. You should always know what you're doing when you're eating because it's your health, and if you don't care, then just be vegan and don't care. That's your problem right there. Now is probably the best time to be vegan ever because there's a bunch of meat substitutes now, and soon enough there's gonna be lab-grown meat. So, it won't be that different from your diet if all you eat is lab-grown meat or meat substitutes, which you shouldn't eat only meat substitutes because there's a lot of salt and a lot of processed shit in there. So, just like you shouldn't eat regular hamburgers and hot dogs every day, just get them every now and then, alright? Just for the pleasure, but there's no cruelty. Often people will criticize vegans by saying that they buy products that support human exploitation. And humans are animals, we've said it in the beginning. And that's a valid point for sure. You're not really vegan if you're buying products that support human death or exploitation and whatever. But that's a bit more complicated because sometimes humans don't really have a choice and they have to work in these horrible conditions, and if they don't work there, they just don't make money. So it's a bit more complicated, but you should always research and look into what you're buying to make sure you're not doing something wrong. But beyond that, not much you can do other than throw a revolution and change everything in countries that don't treat humans right. So really, you can't really do much. Just look up some ethical brands. So that was pretty much it. I've got one more argument to try and convince you to switch to a vegan diet, and it's that it's still kind of unpopular to be vegan. You know, more and more people are becoming vegan every day. There's all these restaurants and cafes, and you hear them because vegans are loud. We all know that. Look at this fucking video. But I mean, it's still like 1 or 2%. Oh my god, leave me fucking be. What is wrong with these people? Probably omnivores, am I right? Look at these turtles. These turtles are fucking vegan. And they've lived like 200 years. So vegans are immortal, right? And look at lions. How old are they? They live like 15 years and then they die of ass cancer because they ate so much steak. Don't be a lion. Be a turtle. 1 or 2% population. That's right. Only 1 or 2% of the population is vegan, maybe less. I don't remember the exact number, but it's not a lot of people. And you know, being vegan is still pretty hip, if you ask me. Still pretty hipster, pretty cool, pretty lit. So if you want to be a part of the cool ones that were vegan before it was cool, you know, before it was easy because of lab-grown meat, and then when you have grandkids, you're going to be able to say, hey, I was vegan in 2020. Can you believe it? That's how cool I am. And then your grandkids are going to be like, shut the fuck up, granddad. What are you talking about? We don't eat meat. Did anyone really eat meat? Holy fuck. So yeah, that's all I had to say today. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, hit the like button. It's the first video ever I make on YouTube, and I don't plan to make them all preachy and fucking being a dick to people that disagree with me. It's gonna be more fun and light than this, but I mean, it's gonna be fun. Just subscribe and you'll get notification when I put videos online, and that's pretty epic. So see you soon.